Just as we told you a year ago, it's finally breaking that Paramount, Skydance, CBS wants a chance to buy Warner Brothers, and they're willing to bring cash to the table. It's a complete and total seismic change across the entertainment landscape, but there's far more to this beyond what the legacies and even the access media are telling you. There may be others trying to do the same thing for a new giant company that only David Zaslav can bring. Welcome back, and ladies and gentlemen, it happened earlier this week. We're covering it today. We're happy to bring it your way. There could be a huge change in entertainment. The landscape totally altered. It's an earthquake, I tell you, an earthquake. Warner Brothers may be bought in the near term by another company. Folks, let's dive in. Click the like button, comment down below, let us know what have you enjoyed from Warner Brothers this past year, whether it was Minecraft or whatever else it might have been that you saw, The Conjuring perhaps? And let's get started right now. All right, out of the Wall Street Journal, Paramount Skydance prepares Ellison-backed bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. That's right, you heard it correctly, folks. The Ellisons, who came in with Skydance and purchased CBS, Paramount, and got a whole bunch of stuff with that, shook up the entire world and maybe shaking up the entire news industry with it. They're not done. They want Warner Brothers. They want DC. They want Harry Potter. Maybe James Gunn. Maybe not. This is by Jessica Tunkel, and it says the majority of the planned bid for Warner will be made up of cash. Before we go any further, I just need to say, folks, if you've been watching this channel for a long time, you knew this was coming. When we say we keep you ahead of the culture curve, by gollies, we mean it. 1 year ago, and this is just, listen, we've got more examples of this. 1 year ago, we put out this video, Warner Brothers Paramount merger, streaming could change forever, and no, Warner Brothers Discovery is not going bankrupt. Well, as I'm looking at it, I believe that's about 3 correct things we got on that a year ago. Not one of the more popular things that we were covering, right? Because people are very excited about Disney, and they're excited about what's going on with Star Wars and Marvel. But we've been following this, and it's all falling into place. Let's read a little bit of this article. It says, Paramount Skydance is preparing a majority cash bid for Warner Brothers Discovery that is backed by the Ellison family, according to people familiar with the situation. The bid will be for the entire company. Wow. The bid will be for the entire company, including its cable networks and movie studio, the people said.
Right.
Warner said...
Let's emphasize that right there. Warner Brothers is about to do a split in which it will be Warner Brothers and then Discovery Global. So Discovery came in and mingled with Warner Brothers, and now as it leaves, it's going to take all of Warner Brothers cable networks with it. And they'll just be left with the studio side, the content production side, and the streaming service. This is attempting to preempt that split here, which might be why it's so quick after the merger was approved. Go ahead.
Jonas, well, hold on. We need to dive deep on this, okay? So as we're looking at this, you know, we've talked in the past about proxy battles and trying to get board seats and all this stuff. We've looked at Disney and Cracker Barrel, etc. This is not quite the same. Paramount, CBS Skydance, run by one of the richest families in the world, the Ellisons, they want to just show up with giant wheelbarrows of cash and say, screw all that. We're buying you now.
I think it's a fair strategy. Oracle is, I don't know if Oracle is $1 trillion company, but Larry Ellison is not hurting for money. And David Ellison is currently in charge of Paramount. He said that, I don't know what Larry's involvement is here. By the way, Larry's in Iron Man 2. This is something that I think as Warner Brothers continues to grow and continues to do well, this will only be more difficult to happen. I also think that Paramount is a company that has shown that it is willing to play ball from a regulatory standpoint. So the administration, the current administration, is more likely to say yes to this. But this would be Paramount, CBS, Warner Brothers, Discovery, and all of those channels all at one company. So there has to be some problems with this from a regulatory standpoint. But cash covers all. This is cash too, so that means that Warner Brothers shareholders like AT&T would be more likely to say yes to it because they're not just getting shares in some new company here as well. It's additive to the value for shareholders as opposed to just some squishy math about, well, you're going to get a share of this, and you're going to get a share of that, and you just hold on to it for a while, and maybe you could sell them someday. It's actual value. So,
how do we think David Zaslav, the head of Warner Brothers, responds to this?
He's been preparing for this, hasn't he?
Yeah,
everything we've seen over the last little while. Vash, you go ahead, and I'll back you up.
Well, no, I mean, I was just going to say what you were going to say. It does appear that that Zaslav has been preparing for this moment just through the range of things that he's done that have positioned Warner Brothers, I would say, to be in a position, well, I guess now Warner Brothers Discovery, to be in a position to be bought out. And it looks like the stock is reacting to this pretty strongly. I'm seeing the upticks
20%,
here.
20% uptick for Warner Brothers today.
Yes, that's massive for when you consider
20%. That is huge.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing.
Wow.
That's
speaking
huge.
Of which, right now,
a lot of somebodies think this is going to happen, Jonas. Otherwise, that stock wouldn't do what it's doing.
Right. I'll also throw in here that Discovery Global was going to leave with a portion of Warner Brothers, literally an equity stake in Warner Brothers. I don't know how much. Maybe it was 20%. Gunnar Wiedenfels, CEO of that organization, apparently was already planning to sell his portion in their portion in Warner Brothers at the end of all this. So, there are people that we know of that are high up at some studios. I'm going to be vague here, that are probably relieved to hear that the companies might be staying together if this happens. And also, the Ellisons have shown that they are an entertainment first, with Skydance, have shown that they're an entertainment first organization. I'm not saying that they are firing on all cylinders and they're always correct in what the audience wants, but they are very much driven by the idea that we want to entertain the audience. We're not so much worried about the politics. So fascinating.
I'm sorry, the 20% that I just quoted was incorrect. It's actually nearly 30% Warner Brothers, while Paramount was up 7%, according to Reuters.
Man, I wish I had Warner Brothers stock this morning. No financial advice.
It's been bounced between 8 and 7% uptick here, at least on the Paramount side of things. I mean, this is absolutely massive. I know that with the Warner Brothers Discovery deal, the administration, they got a little bit of heat for that. Would they truly be up for approving this deal as well?
Oh, the Ellisons are buddies with Trump. I mean, listen, I don't want to say how the sausage is made, but if anybody's going to get it done, they'll get it done. And listen, I don't know. What do you guys think in terms of the size of this company and its creative prowess at that point? Like, does it rival Disney?
Yes.
I would say so. Yeah.
This is a power. This
Outside
will be
of theme parks, of course.
That's the point that I'm making in our article right now. As I kind of write it in the background. This is going to be a powerhouse.
Right.
It'll have DC, Sonic the Hedgehog. It'll have everything Nickelodeon, everything Comedy
Harry
Central,
Potter.
everything HBO, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter. This is going to be massive.
Looney Tunes back on Nickelodeon there. That's
Do you think they get rid of one of the studios in Hollywood?
No, I don't think they can. Well, I mean, they'll have DC Studios off on its own. So let's talk about the idea of the regulatory here. And I don't know how deep into this that you want to get. And I appreciate B-Man out in the chat saying, not financial advisor. Yes, not financial advice. I'm not going to tell you to buy Palantir or anything like that. For those who get that joke. With the current environment, some would say that a studio is going away. But if I were to try to frame this to a Department of Justice that I needed to convince, I would talk about the fact that we've got Netflix and we've got Amazon and we've got Apple and we've got Lionsgate and we have all of these companies that have this equal playing field in a dying industry, a dying industry in theatrical, and the competitors are streaming. They would want to avoid a Disney situation where they absorb two studios into one entity and essentially just have diminishing value from there. But if they want to say that this is good for the market, they would have to say that this is something to strengthen these companies so that they can survive. Because Warner Brothers, they don't have a huge theme park division to fall back on. They get theme park revenue from their deals with Comcast and what's going on maybe overseas with the upcoming Harry Potter attractions out at
and Six Flags as well.
Yeah, but that's relatively minor. So this is something where they can create a larger company. And I think they might position this as, no, we have competitors coming in and out of the market now. It's not something that the barrier to entry is nowhere near what it used to be at this point. So please allow us to merge these two together so that we can, all they're getting here is IPs. So I don't know. It's going to be fascinating to see where this goes. Because the other option is Comcast comes in and says, we would like to buy Warner Brothers, because that's what happened last time. If I can bring that up as well. Slight pivot here. Brian Roberts from Comcast, the last time that Disney tried to buy Fox, $30 to $40 billion. Sorry, forgive me for forgetting almost a billion worth of value there per each one of those. He came in and said, no, let's do 50 or 60 million. And Iger came in with the knockout blow of 70 billion, ended up paying double what he probably should have for Fox at the time, because Brian Roberts wanted that. Now he's got a theme park company that is fully operational at this point. And Harry Potter is the primary brand in theme parks in the entire world. Yes, I'm saying this above everything that Disney owns right now. Harry Potter is the biggest theme park brand in the entire world. Forgive me, Nintendo. If Brian Roberts is going to come in with a bid, this is the time to do it. And we're not talking 10 billion. I don't know what this cash offer is going to look like, but this is a 20 to 30 billion dollar investment that he could make, and it might be worth it considering the theme park empire they're trying to build over there at Universal. I'll be quiet for a moment.
Well, no, and I Brian Roberts would say, "Hey, look, listen, you just had a big merger over here. You just had a big merger over here. Let's go ahead and position us next. At least, that would be the argument for the administration. For shareholders, I mean, there would be a lot of upside to merging Warner Bros. Discovery with Comcast. I think their backlots are right next door to each other and all kinds of stuff. Didn't see the Ellisons making this move, that's for sure. But I think Jonas is right. Look, when you look at Netflix and they're a $500 billion company or whatever, you have huge players. How do you compete without further consolidation? It's going to be the argument here.
Mm-hmm. Well, so now here's the thing. I mean, they're saying they want the entire company, which includes the cable assets. My first thought when I saw this was, oh, well, before I read that they wanted everything, I was like, well, they're going to let them spin off the cable into their own company and then just buy Warner Brothers, which would be the movies and streaming. But that doesn't seem to be what they're doing. So it's
which
fascinating
still makes
to me.
sense.
Yeah. Do you spin them off in the back end then?
It's that's the thing. It's fascinating to me that they want to own TNT, TBS, and CNN, among others, because those are albatrosses that have been dragging Warner Brothers down. Also, the thing about, you look at Paramount, you look at Warner Brothers; these are two debt-ridden companies. So that's also interesting.
Yes, in the cable side is fascinating in that. I think the real gem here, though, is Discovery when it comes down to it, because Discovery knows what they're doing when it comes to television, and with the Discovery versus Warner Brothers side of things, Discovery is comfort viewing during the day. It's daytime viewing. I'm not saying people don't watch it at night, but it's a different kind of content than the premium prestige streaming content and HBO style content. So they essentially have two audiences there. I think what they really want on the cable side is probably Discovery more than anything else.
And do you think, Jonas, if they do want Discovery, let's say, do you think, because Warner Brothers Discovery, I know they were talking about doing, big streaming services and so forth, they seem to be backed off that a little bit. Do you think that a streaming service that incorporates all of these services in some way and it is merged through, I don't know, some kind of Uni app or something like that. Do you think
Mm-hmm.
that's more attractive for them, and maybe why they're going this far
Right,
for the cable?
because essentially right now they have the Paramount Plus app, which is driven by everything that Taylor Sheridan makes. And when they get on earnings calls, the questions that they get are, can you just put Taylor Sheridan into slavery and owned him outright so that he only makes stuff for you for the rest of time? And that's obviously not a long-term business. I say it ridiculously because it is very obviously not a long-term business plan to just hope that Taylor Sheridan never goes to greener pastures, because somebody with a bigger checkbook is going to come in and ruin your day, whether or not it's a financially feasible decision. So with this, they can put two streaming services together, and they can have the number one original streaming service out there, which is alternatively either Netflix or Paramount Plus. In this case, Paramount Plus, and the Taylor Sheridan stuff, they're killing it out there on streaming. Not profitable, but still killing it on streaming.
What would they do with CNN?
HBO at the same time. Who cares? Disband CNN. And people misunderstand me when I say with CNN. I don't mean that the government needs to come in and disband CNN. I mean that just pack it in, CNN. You had a good run at some point. Go away.
It's the Colbert thing. It's the Colbert thing at this point. It's just like, how much money are you prepared to lose? Like to me, like getting CNN as part of this deal drags the deal down. It drags the value of this down.
Yeah.
And okay, so there's two other things that happened today, by the way, on this to add to the cable situation. Paramount is starting a sports division. Wise move for Paramount, obviously. And also, what was the other thing? The free press rumor that's going around. Has that been confirmed that they're trying to put Barry Weiss in charge of editorial for their news division?
Oh, I reported that a month ago. Yes.
Right. But is that finally public? Forgive me.
Well,
I think it's
here's how I'll answer that, Jonas. I was talking with a good friend of mine the other day. Reports are that Barry Weiss's YouTube channel, is it Free Press? Is that name of her?
Yeah, the Free Press. Yeah.
She's gonna get $100 million for selling it. Her YouTube channel is not worth $100 million, in my opinion. No disparagement intended. I'm sitting thinking somebody was told, you're going to pay $100 million. We're going to make this happen to get her thing sold and bring her over here. And there's some stuff happening that I'm just telling you. There's Barry Weiss as the head of CNN would be a heck of a reality to live in.
Yes, much like Bob Iger wanted John Lasseter to come to Disney, and so he had to buy Pixar to do it. So,
James Alday is out in the chat saying John Lasseter in charge of Looney Tunes. That'd be a interesting turn of events.
If they put him in charge of all family programming, which then included Looney Tunes, it would include Sonic the Hedgehog. It would include all that stuff. That would be insane.
Just put him as the creative lead.
That would solve
the
the
entire
Skydance
company.
Animation Netflix issue right now.
Yeah, correct. Sure would.
Because Skydance Animation is landlocked to Netflix, and forgive me, nothing culturally relevant. It takes a lot more to get cultural relevance from Netflix than it does from traditional means.
Man, what a story. All right, folks, we've got Tom from Midnight's Edge joining us. And Tom, you and I got together recently and had a great time. But Tom, we wanted to bring you on the show because this Warner Brothers deal that's breaking now, where it looks like Paramount is going to make every effort to buy them. I was curious what your thoughts would be, so we sent you the leak. Tom, what do you think about Paramount, Skydance, CBS, whatever that company is, now likely to buy Warner Brothers Discovery?
I swear David Ellison is going for the poster child of spoiled, rotten rich kid. Thinking he can have everything he wants. Look, I think Trump is going to go, you just got a merger. What makes you think you're going to get another one? Look at what happened to Fox and Disney. No.
Yeah, come on, Tom. You know what Trump is saying? Trump's saying, okay, here's the deal. I saw what you did with Colbert. I like it. What if we do it to CNN? I'm going to like it even more.
Well, here's the thing is I think him and Zaslav are probably friends anyway. But that being said, I just don't know if this is going to go through regulatory stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know.
What do you know about the music side of this, Tom? Because that's always one of the big holdups. Is there
Paramount doesn't have any music department as far as I know. So I'm sure that's something Ellison is interested in. But
So maybe no monopoly issues there then?
The monopoly issue will come in television because Paramount and Warner Brothers and Sony have the biggest television catalogs. So combining Paramount and Warner Brothers will probably cause some monopoly issues, especially when it comes to the television side of things, because they have the most networks of the two of anybody too.
I bet it's unrelated, but Netflix is down 3% plus at the same time that Warner Brothers and Paramount are popping up.
What I see here is maybe, I don't know if Zaslav comes with this deal or not, because I mean, I've been keeping my eye on Zaslav before he was part of Warner Brothers, and I got my inside track with him. And then when I did, like, all hell broke loose and he bought Warner Brothers. And let's be real, the reason people don't like him in Hollywood is because he's a cable guy, right? He's not, you know, it's okay if you're a weatherman for ABC to run a studio, but you cannot be the guy who saved, you know, Court TV and Discovery channels from oblivion and run a studio. That is a big no-no in Hollywood, especially if you're conservative. So those three things alone were enough for them to hate. And they like David Ellison in Hollywood. So I think a lot of people are going to root for this. I personally don't have any faith in David Ellison.
Do you think they like the Ellisons after what happened with Colbert?
I'm not sure who they'll blame that on. See, here's the thing with that. That has been so mired in BS. I mean, you and I know that, right? Like, all day long, they can sit there and blame Trump, but we all know it has less to do with that and more to do with ratings and loss of money.
Losing $40 million a year on the show.
Yeah, because if look, let's be real. If Colbert was actually getting the ratings and they were bringing in the ad revenue, we wouldn't be having this conversation. He could sit there and say F Trump all day long, and as long as he's making the money and people are watching it, they don't care. Right?
That's South Park, right?
Well, that's the thing, is South Park was the proof of the pudding, right? When they were going, oh, this was part of the deal, that they can't make fun of Trump anymore. And then South Park turns right around and does nothing but make fun of Trump, right? And that's where I've said that I think that's part of why they're doing it. I think they were doing it less to make fun of Trump and more so to just prove that, you know, we can still do this and get away with it. Trump isn't the big dictator that everybody's making him out to be. But now everything has gone completely off the rails here with the last day or so, especially now that they're talking about removing that Charlie Kirk episode of South Park now. So this
removed it. Yeah, it's gone.
They removed it from cable, but they did not remove it from Paramount Plus.
It might still be on. Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't know for sure if it's been removed from streaming yet.
It'll be gone.
Yeah, it will happen.
It probably will, but
it will end up becoming one of the famous ones. But that being said, like, I don't know if this deal is going to go through. I don't think this is a good thing for Hollywood. To me, I think it would be just as disastrous as the Fox merger with Disney. This conglomeration of all these studios is not a good thing.
Well, that's the market is shrinking for legacy media, not for all media, right? We're part of the new media. The new media is growing while the legacy media shrinks, and as they shrink, they're consolidating.
So go ahead, and then I've got something from a source that I'd like to.
No. I was just going to say, I just don't see this becoming a big, huge regulatory issue with all the things that are going to be combined. Like, one of the companies would have to sell off almost all their cable companies. You know, CBS is probably okay because Warner Brothers doesn't have a network. But see, I always saw this as the other way around. I would always see that Zaslav would have been more interested in getting his hands on, like, you know, CBS and cleaning up some of the Paramount Warner Brothers issues that are there with the cable companies that they have combined, like Comedy Central and all that stuff. But yeah.
Jonas, what's your source telling us? What do we got? Should we hit do I need to hit the breaking news interstitial? Do we need to play that?
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna be cool, but also
we'll be all right. You're right, Jonas. We should totally be cool about this. Sorry, my finger was twitchy.
Paramount is not the only company interested in buying Warner Brothers, and there's been
Wait a minute. You said we shouldn't play the breaking news, and you dropped that kind of a bombshell.
Entire sentences. That's what I would like to
go for it, Jonas. All right. So you have said, apparently, according to your source, somebody else's.
There were rumors a few weeks back that maybe there were other companies that were here at Warner Brothers going after this company and trying to purchased the company, some of them conditional on who was there and who does not stay there. The thing that I am hearing and the thing that I believe is that David Zaslav has no interest in retirement, and he would like to play a part in whatever comes. I don't know if this Paramount deal is different than that. I don't think David Zaslav is interested in riding off into the sunset anytime soon.
Jonas, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Because, see, that's where I was saying before, is it made more sense if, like, Paramount were to just get away from the network stuff, sell all that stuff, what they could, off to Warner Brothers and CBS and all that kind of stuff, and get out of television altogether and just be a movie company.
Yeah,
and that's another thing. Why would you get in bed with Zaslav unless you're going to have him revitalize Paramount Plus, which really doesn't need it, because Paramount Plus is one of the few that managed to kind of, with Yellowstone, well, not Yellowstone itself, but the properties that Sheridan and stuff has, and the stuff they have. They are one of the big heavy hitters when it comes to streaming. But Zaslav has basically revamped HBO Max and revamped the entire studio, and he's the only guy who's really doing what we have all been preaching you need to do, and that is to treat your streamer like a cable or network, and your movies like they are movies, right? And the proof has been shown this whole year, where Warner Brothers is the only one making any money really at the box office, as we've been seeing lately. So even the media's had to admit that.
So help us understand, Jonas, though. So you're saying that there's another company that wanted to buy Warner Brothers.
Companies, plural.
Okay, companies that wanted to buy Warner Brothers. Are you saying that Paramount has won and they're going to be the ones to make the purchase, or they're going to try it? Or are we now in an arms race financially for these companies to buy them?
So here's the thing that I think is interesting. Warner Brothers has to be willing in this, because if Zaslav has control over the deal in any way, which I think he does, because he actually owns a pretty significant number of shares. There are companies out there, like, for instance, companies that own video game divisions and that are in search of more IPs for their video game division, are looking for IP purchases and not necessarily worried about the executive team. The fact that maybe they've been a little slow releasing lists of who's going to be in charge of what over there at Warner Brothers, or maybe large retail chains that are just looking to further their relationship with companies they already own, so they already have deep ties with. Walmart Plus. I think that everybody understands that Warner Brothers is for sale, and I don't think this is the first discussion that has been had between Paramount and Warner Brothers.
Fascinating stuff. Fascinating.
The cash offer is a big deal, so I'm going to say that is something where you're telling shareholders, get ready, because I think something's coming, and
that might be
David Zaslav would have to be up for it in order for it to happen.
That might be a way to stir up the shareholders. You're right, Jonas. I mean, this is also on the heels of Zaslav talking about splitting the company too. Let's keep in mind. So maybe this is a part of Paramount maybe just buying a specific part of the company. Like, it could be the other way around too. Like, I'm curious to see how this...
That's what I was wondering too, Tom. The Wall Street Journal said they wanted all of it, which I'm like, why would you want the cable networks?
And I don't think they could legally. Like, that's what I'm saying, is I think there's going to be... That's where the issues are going to come in.
To destroy them, Marvin.
Maybe they just want to. Maybe they want to get in and say, "Okay, we want complete control," and they want to start the negotiations with the DOJ to say, "Well, what we want is this, and this, and the rest of it. That's fine. We can get rid of that." Maybe they're trying to open up a more nuanced process after they get the shareholders to sign off on it, so that they can say, "Well, we want Discovery, and we're not worried about Lifetime." Or, sorry, Hallmark is the one that I think they have, maybe.
Pulling Hollyweird to the sensible center of the mainstream middle where money is made is not easy, but folks, you make it easy to make videos each and every day, because sharing time with you is a great honor, and we never take it lightly. An attitude of gratitude every single time we have the chance to shine with you. Until the next time, we only ask that you click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, don't worry about paying any kind of tuition for this free class and how entertainment works. You are on scholarship. highest IQ on the internet, that's you for sure. Until the next time we have the opportunity to spend time together, folks, we just ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and as ever, keep having fun.
Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun.
Want it all, so I give them cannonball. Yeah!
Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio.
Arizona. Pineapple pizza, Hawaiian ice freeze, yeah. Can't wait to be up. 3 days of you and me.
What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.